Special thanks to LW, Captain Luppy, Vox, Roach Zoch, Jorgen, The Reaver, Kyvor, Mary McDowell, Bryce Bassett, David Mason, Honor Higgins, Trash Gang, Seti, Big Wolf, Matt H. and Stuff, Gym Leader Goalie, and Mahi Nabi.
Well, at least we were able to get Mr. Matt Engarde as our client. And we know he didn't do it, which helps my nerves.
So now what should we do?
Well, the trial is tomorrow, and we only have today to find evidence. There's only one way to prove Mr. Engarde's innocence. We have to find the real killer.
Okay! Then let's start looking.
Doing? You can't come in without...
Good morning.
Hold on. It's you! What is going on around here? I heard poor Juan was killed. Is that true? It's a bad rerun is what this is. Another stale samurai doing the most evil of deeds.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about the murder and what happened.
Don't push me, boy. My dear Hammer died a year ago in that dreadful manner. And only recently did I find a star that makes his heart go ba-dump again.
I don't know what to say.
I ask you, why does every star I cheer for always end up kicking the bucket?
I'd
watch your words. No one's gonna get away with saying anything bad about my Juan.
But I haven't said anything.
Well, I don't believe a word that woman says anyways.
Huh? What woman?
That irritating backwater girl with the poofy hair and the horrible country accent. I mean, what is that manner of speaking supposed to be, and why does it never stop? Honestly, women need...
Pearls? Are you thirsty?
A little.
Okay. I'll go get you some juice or something.
Thank you very much.
Hey, are you paying attention? Youngins today!
So I'm guessing Miss Oldbag heard everything from Lotta. I want to ask you about what happened around the time of the murder.
I don't know anything about that. I was here getting ready.
Getting ready? For what?
The show, of course! Well, and the press conference afterwards.
Cue mysterious music for the magical press conference. How does the person who's supposed to give a conference not know about it?
Anyway, I don't know anything about the murder.
Ah, I see.
But... But if you're talking about what I saw, that's different. I saw it very clearly.
What?
I saw the most important moment of the night.
The most important moment? You don't mean...
Oh, so now you treat me with respect, you disrespectful child! When you speak to your elders, you should always be polite! Really, kids today.
Please, tell me! What did you see?
The murder last night was gruesome, wasn't it? But then, what murder isn't?
Please don't stray onto another tangent. Please.
If you want to hear more, then show your respect and bring this lady a present. Otherwise, I don't have anything to say to delinquents like you.
She's clamming up like the old clam she is.
Please, anything would be helpful.
Well then, how about I tell you my measurements?
Oh no, that's okay, really.
She really doesn't like you, does she, Mr. Nick?
I know. Looks like the investigation is still in full swing. The hotel staff and the police are running around like a bunch of headless chickens.
I wonder if we can do any investigating of our own in this kind of atmosphere.
Well, we've got to roll up our sleeves and try, I guess. Though it's hard to believe the award ceremony was held on that stage just last night.
You just reminded me of the circus for a second. I wonder if everyone's all right.
I heard that the Berry Big Circus just recently started holding performances again. I'm sure they're all just fine, Pearls.
Hi, you're here. Been waiting for you, Mr. Lawyer. Hey, Mr. Copfella, the thief showed his face.
What?
Arrest him. Put him on trial. Find him guilty. Give him the death penalty.
What's wrong, Lotta? Are you feeling all right?
Look here and there and up and down the mountain, but it ain't here. So why don't you just hurry up and give it back to me, you creep?
What are you looking for?
My camera. C-A-M-E R.A. It's my life's blood. I'm gonna die without my $700 camera.
Your camera?
Look, don't lots of people say that the criminal always goes back to the scene of the crime? And looky, here you are.
Yep. Here I am, faced with a lot of trouble. So, you lost your camera?
It ain't no ordinary camera. You buy it in a store and it's $1,600 brand new.
But didn't you just say you bought it for $700?
I had a nice long talk with the guy at the store. About 5 hours, I reckon. I made this itty-bitty scratch on it and the manager got all huffed up in the face. He gave me his talking to and was real mean about it, too. He done made me cry at that.
When did you lose your camera?
Last night after the murder happened. Must have been when I was busy running around looking into things. That's when I lost sight of my dear, darling, expensive sweetie.
Lotta, what did you capture with that expensive camera of yours?
I don't rightly know. I snapped a shot of anything caught my eye, so I don't remember. And besides, couldn't get anything from my big scoop.
I wonder if Lotta's missing camera is connected to the murder.
When I just bought that camera. Who did it? The thieving rascal.
Please don't look straight at me while saying that.
When I find the bugger who went and done this, they're gonna pay with a bullet.
And if you do that, don't expect me to defend you. Lotta, please tell me what you know about what happened at the time of the murder.
Well, from before the ceremony last night, I was hanging around here in this area. Yeah, actually, I was here until around the time Mr. Engarde was arrested.
What were you doing here?
You sure you went to school, city boy? Wherever Lotta Hart goes, there's a story to be found. A big scoop to be had.
The big scoop?
I told you before. I'm gonna be the best tabloid photographer the world's ever seen. Reckon, course, that means I'm always looking for the perfect shot.
I wonder what scoop she was after this time.
Although, I was also on the lookout for other stars that were here.
Lotta, are you sure you were here the entire time? So you could take a picture for your big scoop?
Well, maybe I was. But that's what real journalists do. I got some juicy inside info, so I thought to myself, why not get a picture for proof?
What kind of story was it that you would hang around here for?
Oops. Sorry, Mr. Lawyer. Can't be telling you that. Trade secret, you know.
Not again. Why does everyone have something to hide?
We've been stopped, haven't we?
Yeah! Take that, Mr. Lawyer.
I'm glad someone around here is happy. Lotta and your eye rule smile. Wait a minute, Lotta. You're sort of with the press. Do you know anything about this?
Hey, what's that? A press conference ticket? How come I ain't got myself one of them?
Please don't direct your anger at me.
What in tarnations wasn't I invited to that? How come someone on the bottom of the popularity chart like you got the info but not me? Info like that is worth nothing to you. Am I right or what?
Is that the kind of person she thinks I am?
Are you going to stand there and take that, Mr. Nick?
No, I have places to be.
Where are we?
We're in Mr. Engarde's dressing room. This is our client's room.
May I help you with something?
We're...
You're Mr. Engarde's lawyer, correct? I gathered as much. I also looked for lawyers on my end, but to no avail.
How did you know I'm his lawyer?
You were just saying that he's your client. In a situation like this, the only person who would use such a word would be his lawyer.
Wow!
It's a simple deduction, really. The trial's tomorrow, and Mr. Engarde's situation is looking rather grim. So, you came here, one stop in your mad dash, to find clues to build his case, correct?
Well, you're not totally right. But you're not totally off either.
It's really not the time to be showing off, Mr. Nick.
I'm Adrian Andrews. I hate to waste time, so let's get down to business.
All right. She may be of small stature, but appearances can be deceiving.
I assume the first thing you need to know is what everyone was doing that night, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Before the awards ceremony, I had dinner with Mr. Engarde. In this very room, I might add.
Dinner? What did you eat?
I told you, I hate to waste time with trifling details. If you took a look at the table yourself, you wouldn't need to ask me.
I bet she's a lot of fun at parties. Looks like dishes left over from dinner. A dinner for two, at that. Looks like they had T-bone steaks. There's a giant bone sitting on the plate.
I don't really like meat.
What's with Global Studios and T-bone steaks? There's something weird about the plate on the right. I just wish I could put my finger on what it is.
When the award show was starting, I headed for Viola Hall.
And after the show ended, you came back to this room?
No, I had some small errands to run. I helped with the preparations in the lobby.
Preparations for the post-ceremony show, I guess.
When it was time for the post-ceremony show, I came back to call for Mr. Engarde. After that, I went to visit Mr. Corrida.
And that's when you found his body, isn't it?
You really held strong through everything.
Yeah, he does seem to be mentally tough as nails. So, about you and Matt?
Stop right there. Don't expect me to believe you've been talking to me without knowing how we relate.
Sorry.
I have no idea why Mr. Engarde chose you as his lawyer.
Why did she have to go and say something like that?
Mr. Nick, calm down and hang in there.
I already gave you my name earlier, but I'll add that I'm Mr. Engarde's manager.
His manager. Speaking of managers, did the victim, Mr. Corrida, have one?
No, he did not.
He didn't?
Global Studios has a very different policy from worldwide studios, in that they do not assign individual managers to their stars.
I see.
This industry is very ruthless and unforgiving. Actually, you look quite ruthless and unforgiving yourself to your poor partner. Dragging a little girl like her to places like this, honestly.
You're wrong! I'm doing this to help Mystic Maya!
Pearls, calm down and hang in there. I'll buy you a juice later, alright? How did you come to work with Matt Engarde?
I asked to become Mr. Engarde's manager. He's a pleasure to manage with his nice disposition.
Mr. Engarde does seem like a rather weak-willed man, always doing as he's told. Are you familiar with Will Powers, his, predecessor?
He's an actor contracted with Global Studios. He's a very nice man. A man with a good heart. But that's all he is, and ever will be.
Yeesh. What a horrible thing to say!
Society doesn't care about genuinely nice people, Mr. Wright.
Huh? For a second, her face twisted in pain.
I wonder if something happened to Miss Andrews.
Are you...
Forget anything you want to know about me. I hate talking about myself. It's a trifling matter, that's why.
Sorry. Take away that layer of sarcasm, and she really does seem to hate herself. You were the one taking care of the arrangements for this press conference, right?
Yes, that's right.
But Mr. Engarde said he didn't know about it.
Is that what he said? Actually, I didn't know all the details either. It was a request from the publicity department. All I did was help out and do what I was asked.
I wonder about that. I wouldn't take her to be the type of person to do something without knowing the details. Did you know the victim? Mr. Corrida.
Yes, I knew him. The world is such a small place, after all.
Did you know about his rivalry with the Nickel Samurai?
Honestly, they were like children when it came to that. Time and time again, those two would compete with one another over the most uninteresting things. If either one of them weren't so stubborn, maybe no one would have needed to die.
I've got a hunch that this woman knows more than she's letting on. She must know why Mr. Corrida was killed. Do you have any ideas?
As to
why Mr. Corrida was murdered.
Why would you ask me about such a thing?
I'm just doing my job. So, do you have any ideas? Miss Andrews?
Sorry, but there's nothing more I have to add to this conversation.
Is it a psyche lock, Mr. Nick?
Yes. There's getting to be more and more of these lately. Thank you for your time. I've got a lot more to look into, but I may be back later.
I'll be around.
Mr. Nick, where are we now?
We're in Mr. Juan Corrida's room, Pearls.
Mr. Corrida?
The victim. Which makes this a crime scene, too.
Oh, it's you! So, what's happened? The kidnapper. Has he contacted you again?
Not yet. He probably won't until we win Mr. Engarde's acquittal.
You doing okay, pal? Hanging in there?
I just want Maya to be alright.
Don't have a lot of time left, but I'm gonna help you as much as I can, pal.
Can you do that? Even if we want to look around the crime scene?
Just this once. Special circumstances, right, pal? I'll even tell you everything I know, but you gotta keep it quiet. It's my neck on the line here.
Thank you.
Oh, that's right. I got you guys a map of the hotel, pal. Here you go, little missy.
Wow! You're giving it to me? Thank you!
I wouldn't want you to get lost in a hotel too big for its own good.
Mr. Nick! I got a map!
That's great, Pearls.
But Mr. Nick, I can't read what it says.
Do you know what was the cause of death?
Well, technically the final autopsy report isn't out yet, but one look at the scene of the crime should tell you, pal.
The scene of the crime?
Yeah, here's a picture.
There's a knife in his chest.
Yeah, pal, that's the murder weapon.
So he was stabbed to death.
They're looking at the fingerprints down at the lab right now.
There were fingerprints on the knife?
Yep, it looks like they're pretty sure they're Mr. Engarde's prints, pal.
That's bad. Real bad. Why was Mr. Engarde arrested?
Because we had evidence on him. Looks like the victim, Juan Corrida, really put up a big fight.
Yeah, one look at the crime scene and you can tell. There's signs of a struggle everywhere.
Well, yeah, during the fight his button came off.
Mr. Engarde said something about a button. Something like one of the Jamma Ninja's buttons got caught in his hakama?
But that's not all. There was a witness, pal.
A witness? Who is it?
That lady, Miss Oldbag.
Please, anyone but her!
The prosecution has plenty of evidence to make a solid case. Not to mention there's something at the crime scene that was a little off.
Something that was a little off? As in...
As in, that's for you to figure out, pal.
All right. Let's try to figure it out, Mr. Nick.
Well, there are all sorts of things in this refrigerator.
The carrot juice bottle and the tomato juice bottle are both empty.
It's too much of a hassle to throw them away, I guess. They're all vegetable juices. I guess he must have been a real health nut.
Oh! There's a beet, some ketchup, and a bottle of strawberry jam, too.
Maybe red was his favorite color? Speaking of favorites, it's kind of hard to miss this mess.
Wow. There are a lot of bears.
Alarm clock ones, collector's editions, stuffed teddies, plastic models. It's pretty overwhelming. Is there a kind of bear he doesn't have?
There's even a few in the trash can.
Yeah. I get the feeling maybe the guy didn't really like bears.
Poor teddies.
It's hard to bear with all these problems.
Ugh. I don't think I want to bear with the trauma the last case caused me.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
It's this suitcase. There are so many things in it that I bet it barely closes. There's his clothes, a dryer, an electric shaver, a calculator.
Do all stars pack too much stuff like Mr. Corrida?
It looks like Mr. Corrida had dinner here last night.
This bottle. It's tomato juice. Oh, wow! That's a bed, right?
Yep, it's big, but it's a bed.
Mr. Nick, it's so soft!
Big beds must be a rarity for her. Bottles of cosmetics are scattered all over the floor here. This is probably where Mr. Corrida fought his assailant.
What's this glass fragment from?
A flower vase, maybe? There are flowers on the floor, but I don't know what they are.
You don't know much about flowers, do you, Mr. Nick?
And there's this, a guitar case, I guess. A little beat up, but still usable.
That's strange. The guitar is not here.
Maybe he forgot to bring it to the show.
But Mystic Maya, she said the bright red guitar was the Jamma Ninja's signature item.
Huh, this guitar case is wet. But it's only wet on the top of the lid.
Yeah, there's no water inside the case. This is water, isn't it?
I guess. And lastly, we have a beautiful wine glass here. And there's, tomato juice in it.
Ew!
There's a bottle of it on the table over there. That's probably where this came from.
But doesn't it seem weird?
What seems weird?
I mean, everything else is scattered all over the floor.
She's right. The flower vase was broken, and the makeup is strewn everywhere.
Why is this glass the only thing that's still all right? What's that beeping noise, Mr. Nick?
I've heard this sound somewhere before.
It's Miss Von Karma.
Huh?
Whenever I hear that sound, for some reason she pops out of nowhere and whips me.
Come to think of it, that did happen the last time.
Sorry, I gotta make myself scarce. Later, pal. Ah!
At last, you reveal your true nature, Mr. Phoenix Runt.
Would it be too much to ask for you to be nice to me for a change?
So you're the type to steal information from pitifully hopeless detectives. That's very dishonorable of you. Ow! Hey, don't you dare run away, Scruffy McTrenchcoat. I didn't think the detectives of this country could be this pitiful. Detective, come over here for a second. I feel better knowing at least you were man enough to face your punishment.
He was so scared he just froze up on the spot.
Mr. Phoenix Wright, you have soiled my perfect prosecution record. I'll never forget that. This time, victory is mine.
Victory is yours? Is that all this means to you?
What? Come, Scruffface. The investigation briefing is about to begin.
Yes, sir.
This isn't over yet. I swear on my family's honor.
Hey! What did she just throw at me?
Well, I guess this means I gotta get back to the precinct now, pal. If you ever need me, come down to the Criminal Affairs Department, alright? And if you can, try not to let Miss Von Karma see you.
Mr. Nick, what's this piece of paper?
This? It's called an autograph.
Autograph?
It's got Mr. Corrida's name written on it, so it's his autograph.
I can't read it at all. To be honest, I've never seen writing that looks like this.
Ah, it's a special way of writing called cursive. Look here. See how it says, "To my dearest Wendy," in more normal letters here.
This is sloppy, unreadable writing! It's crazy and cruel to give this to someone!
Hold on.
Huh?
Wendy? I've heard that name somewhere before.
Oh, Mr. Wright. How are you?
Ah, Mr. Powers. Have you been here the entire time?
Yeah. People connected to the murder aren't allowed to go home, let alone leave.
I suppose that's convenient for me. Can you tell me a little more about the Nickel Samurai TV show?
Oh, sure. The Nickel Samurai is an action hero program aimed towards kids. It's the sequel to the Steel Samurai. This time there are 3 samurai brothers. Aluminum Samurai, Tin Samurai, and of course, the Nickel Samurai. It's a Love Why in the old Tokyo.
Wait. Love what?
A Love Why. This girl Seiyo works at a tea shop, and all 3 guys fall in love with her at the same time.
Oh. I guess the Y shape is like the 3 brothers colliding over this one girl.
Anyway, Seiyo is actually the daughter of the evil Strawberry Clan's leader.
Sounds like an unusual situation. Like Romeo and Juliet times 3.
Yeah. Strange thing is, this sort of forbidden love story is really big with the office ladies. Yes, Pearl?
What happens next? I want to know! Miss Sayo, does Miss Sayo fall in love? She does, doesn't she?
Every Sunday at 8 a.m.
I'm going to stop watching Kids Masterpiece Theater starting this week.
I can't believe she's considering it. So that's the Nickel Samurai. What's the Jammin' Ninja TV show like?
It started from a remake of an old movie. To tell you the truth, the Jammin' Ninja is like the samurai shows, but specifically aimed towards kids. It's the story of a ninja who can't climb a wall, but became a big pop star.
What?
He was a really lousy ninja. Absolutely couldn't do any ninja things right at all. Boy, could he sing. With his trusty bright red guitar in hand, he took the ancient world by storm.
A ninja with a bright red guitar.
And then, the final fight in front of his beloved Princess Missola. Jammin versus the Muromachi 5. Certainly, our brave hero catches a not-so-jamming cold the night before Battle 3.
Oh, that's too bad for him?
Yeah. But this kind of pop music-based love story is something high school girls really like. Yes, Pearl?
What happens next? I want to know! Jammin, the Jammin Ninja. Will he be able to sing? What about Princess Missola?
Every Sunday at 8 a.m.
Which show should I watch?
I can't believe she's really considering it. Have you seen this before?
That guitar case. That was Juan's. It's pretty famous by now. It stands out because it holds the bright red guitar.
But if the guitar is so important, how could he forget it for the award ceremony?
That does seem a little strange. Oh, do you know anything about Mr. Engarde's manager?
Hey, that's Miss Andrews. Actually, I was interested in her for a little bit. Just a little.
What do you know about Miss Andrews?
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't really know her. You know? There's sort of a small rumor going around about her right now.
A rumor?
Ah, if you're interested, I could give you a little bit of details.
He's so happy, he looks like a lion that's just found his next meal. Would you mind telling me about this gossip?
Ah, so you're interested in it too? I figured you would be.
Yeah.
I have such a weakness for celebrity gossip too.
Oh, really? You too, huh?
Yeah, so take a look at this.
Looks like a tabloid Miss Oldbag would read. Alright, let's see here. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous?
To the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss A.A. You see now, don't you?
What?
You can stop pretending to be in the dark, Mr. Wright. Juan Corrida didn't have a manager of his own. Which means, we're talking about a certain manager with the initials A.A.
Adrian Andrews?
Yes, exactly. This is big news.
It seems kind of odd. That woman, Miss Andrews, together with the biggest rival of her client?
It's that wonderful thing that can only happen between two people.
Mr. Powers looks so happy.
Pearls is just following along, not having any idea as to why he's smiling.
Well, like the saying goes, one man's garbage is another man's treasure. Here, you can have this.
Thanks, WP. I'm sure this will come in handy.
Good luck, Mr. Wright. You got this. I believe in you. You will save her.
Thanks.
You again!
Oh, right. Still have a whole slew of Cyclops to get through. I suppose I might as well start somewhere. Can you tell me about what you saw last night?
All right, I'll be honest with you for now.
Then please, tell us what you saw.
But, oh, what a waste. And here I have a perfectly good chance to have a little fun at you young'uns' expense. Because I am a little devil after all.
All right, I'll give you what you want then.
That's Juan's autograph!
Yes, it is.
And it even says, to my dearest Wendy on it. That's me, right? Right? My name's Wendy Oldback, so that Wendy has to be me, right?
Well, it may say Wendy, but somehow I don't think Juan had this Wendy in mind when he signed it.
Oh, please give it to me. Let me have it, please.
I can't let you have it just like that.
Yes, I know. Then how about an exchange?
Wow, she must really want this autograph.
My offer isn't good enough for you. fine, Mr. Wright, you win! Wendy Oldback, ready to open up her heart, all for my dearest one.
Here you go.
I feel bad for you now.
Huh?
I tell you, I saw him that night. I saw him coming out of Juan's room.
You're kidding!
Oh no!
It was about 10 minutes before Juan's body was discovered. It was just a coincidence. I was on my way to the toilet, minding my own business.
And? Did you tell that to the police?
Well, of course. I thought I could get a gift certificate or two out of it. Maybe more.
Gift certificate?
I've been recruited again for a part at the trial. You know, the trial tomorrow. This time, you're going to get it. I'm going to work hard to get your client pronounced guilty.
But Mr. Engarde hasn't done anything bad.
I don't care about details like that. I know he did my poor Juan in. I just do, that yellow-bellied chicken.
A yellow-bellied chicken? I wonder what that would look like.
I trust my senses. I know when someone did something bad, and I say he did it.
What did Mr. Engarde do to you to make you so...
You don't know? That guy, he framed my Juan. He created that scandal that plagued my poor Juan.
Mr. Nick!
What is it?
What's a scandal?
I'll tell you about that after we get home, okay?
Poor Juan, led astray by the wiles of that vile temptress.
Mr. Nick, what do vials and vile temptress mean?
How about we just listen to what Miss Oldback has to say for now? Okay, Pearls? So, Miss Oldback, who is this woman you were talking about?
Adrian Andrews, of course. Who else? That guy, he shoved the girl onto Juan on purpose.
His own manager? But why?
I thought lawyers were smart. It was to create a scandal to make Juan lose face. That girl drove Juan into a scandal that dragged his reputation through the mud.
Sounds like a pretty standard definition of a scandal to me. Why do you know about that anyway, Miss Oldbag?
I'm one of Juan's biggest fans. I'm always out there gathering information. There's nothing I don't know.
And do you have proof that Mr. Engarde did what you said he did?
Next week's issue of a certain magazine says so.
Of course! A tabloid.
Next week? Doesn't that mean it's something people don't know about yet?
Why would Miss Oldbag have information like that? And where did she get it? Wait a minute. I think I might know. Lotta, what are you doing with those bears?
I didn't touch him. It wasn't me, I tell you. Well, I give you my word.
Why do I get the impression Lotta helped herself to one of them? Oh well, on to more pressing matters. Lotta, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you loitering around the victim's room?
I told you, didn't I? For my scoop.
What I want to know about are the details of this scoop.
That's not something I can tell you. I mean, that there's my bread and butter.
All right then. An unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm going to say that you were looking into a scandal. Could it be that you, Lotta Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between Juan Corrida and this woman?
This woman?
She's Adrian Andrews, Matt Engarde's manager. The Nickel Samurai's manager caught secretly meeting with his rival, the Jammin' Ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season, wouldn't it?
You're pretty good at this guessing thing, Mr. Lawyer, but you can't just make up any old thing and think it'll make the papers. You gotta have backup.
Backup?
Yeah. You gotta have that, what's it, news source.
You mean a news source?
That's it. So show me something that shows that one guy had something with Miss Andrews.
This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous? To the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss A.A. Mr. Corrida didn't have a manager of his own. What's more, his rival, Mr. Engarde's manager, Adrian Andrews, she has the initials AA. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of them as proof. That's why you were lurking around Mr. Corrida's door last night.
Woo!
You were looking into Mr. Corrida and Miss Andrews' affair, weren't you?
Oh, you got it. I was gonna give myself a scoop by catching them in a secret meeting.
But there's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines. It's no longer breaking news.
What'd you just say? Her initials are AA. What kind of vague thing is that? That ain't no proof of nothing. People are gonna want to see real proof. Well, at least I do. So that's what I was doing, getting photos. I'm gonna whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading. Then spice it up a little and have myself an exclusive story.
Wow, Lotta. Nice journalistic integrity you got there.
I already finished writing on my spicy article, you know. But the paper I wrote it on, my note to myself, is gone. It was inside the case of my $1,600 camera. They done run off together. I came here for my big story. Didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, it's enough to make a gal go bonkers, I tell you. What's with people now, anyway? I never thought I'd see the day when someone done steal something from me.
You really want that note back, huh? I've got no idea why, though. The story on that note is probably a bold-faced lie.
Mr. Nick! Maybe we can go find Mr. Scruffy Detective now.
Great. Now even Pearls is calling him Scruffy. Thanks, Franziska. You're right. They said something about an investigation briefing earlier. Maybe it's over by now.
Oh, look! He's here!
Hey, so, you came, pal.
Why the blunt greeting?
Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about.
What do you mean by that?
Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence and testimony are airtight.
But we can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. Let's start slow. What do you mean the evidence is airtight?
I can't give you all the details, pal, but there's two big pieces. Both of them are in this photo. The foist is the button that's missing from the victim's chest.
That's the button that you found during the body search of Mr. Engarde.
Yep. I found it in the folds of a nickel samurai's special pants.
And the second piece of evidence is...
The knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact.
Fingerprints? Whose are they?
You didn't even have to ask, little missy. It's obvious. They're Matt Engarde's.
So, what about this airtight testimony?
It's that old security lady, Ms. Oldbag.
You mentioned as much earlier, and so did she.
And I even told her not to open that mouth of hers and blab at anyone.
Her blab knob is stuck on 10, and there's no turning it down. Trust me.
Yeah, well, Ms. Oldbag saw it all, pal. She saw Mr. Engarde come out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death.
No way!
She's told me some things about Mr. Engarde's manager that raise some questions. Particularly her relationship to the victim.
We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves.
The scandal with Mr. Corrida? Why?
Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide. Her name was Celeste Inpax, and she was Juan Corrida's manager.
The victim's manager?
But that's not all, pal. Ms. Inpax was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one.
Her mentor.
A woman who was both Mr. Corrida's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor. Could her suicide have something to do with this case?
Been 2 years since the suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Well, maybe it's just a coincidence, but... Ah!
I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another.
Miss von Karma!
You can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst.
You don't mean...
I do. Scruffy, you have 30 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye.
That's...
Wait, please, wait, sir. If I don't get this month's pay, I'll stop!
Quiet! If it weren't for traitors like you...
I would have won. Is that what you want to say?
Who?
That voice! Edgeworth?
It's been a long time, right?
This person... This is Mr. Edgeworth?
What am I going to do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong? You haven't changed a bit, Franziska.
You! How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it! You've soiled the Von Karma name and dragged it through the mud! Run away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are!
Are you talking about the Von Karma family creed? To be perfect in every way? Then let's hear it, Franziska. How are things going? I hear you are having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country.
You!
You seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back.
Keep your assumptions to yourself! I haven't given in yet! I won't lose! This case is mine! I'll never hand it over to you! Never! Mr. Phoenix Wright! I will see you tomorrow in court. It will be a clinical lesson on the meaning of total victory!
Still the same wild mare she always was.
I thought you, the prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died.
Mr. Nick!
I never wanted to see you again.
I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year.
Are you going to run tomorrow's trial?
You heard her, right? That wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So, no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow.
What is that supposed to mean?
I have something definitive that you lack, and that's the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth.
The truth?
In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information.
Just what is going on inside his head?
A lot of things may have happened. However, Manfred von Karma was still my mentor, and a perfect win record is proof of a von Karma.
1 year ago, you could not establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. It'd been better for everyone if you never came back from the dead, Edgeworth.
I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason?
Well, if it was Franziska, she would definitely say, "I will defeat you this time," the instant she saw me. But the courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client, to save their lives.
To save your client, you say?
Those who only think of their own ego-driven goals. Those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me. Even if you're a prodigy or someone like you, Edgeworth.
It looks like there is still a lot you have yet to learn.
A lot I have to learn? Me.
Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough.
You said you have information about this case?
More than you might think. All you need do is ask.
What do you know about Juan Corrida?
Only that there is an interesting rumor about that man.
You mean the one about Miss Andrews getting close to him? That's pretty common tabloid fare, isn't it?
I don't take things at face value when there's more to be found.
What about Matt Engarde?
While I was abroad, these deplorable types of actors became popular, I take it.
Well, refreshing like a spring breeze is his motto.
Refreshing? And what is so refreshing about a spring breeze?
Sounds like the pollen is not treating him well this year.
You're wasting time. I have no interest in talking about useless evidence. Put a little more thought into what you discuss, Phoenix Wright.
Still as stuck up as ever.
If you want leads, you can only look into a few key players considering your limited resources. There's no reason to waste your energy investigating others.
I take it you want me to ask you about Miss Andrews, then?
Adrian Andrews. She holds a large secret within herself.
A secret?
You can't help but feel that this entire case revolves around her in some way.
Wait, does this have anything to do with the woman Detective Gumshoe told me about? That, Celeste Impacts woman.
She is another key to the case.
Do you really think so?
She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago, but suddenly she was called away by production and became Juan Corrida's manager. And then, a few months later, Celeste Impacts died.
But her death was a suicide, right?
Yes, but there is still one riddle left unsolved.
A riddle?
Her suicide note. It went missing and no one could find it.
A suicide note that just vanished, huh?
Miss Impacts' death was most certainly a suicide. Of that, there is no mistake. However, we could not find a suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it.
The suicide note? But how do you know Miss Impacts had even written such a note?
There was no solid evidence. However, we did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high.
But who would hide such a thing?
The police think it was Mr. Juan Corrida himself.
The victim?
He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note.
Mr. Corrida hid his own manager's suicide note? But why?
As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is the suicide report. Part 1, anyway.
Part 1?
I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are the reports that have multiple parts, like that one. That has 2.
2 parts?
What I just handed you is the first part of the report. Here is the second part.
The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name! It's Adrian Andrews!
Miss Andrews? What did she do?
She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try and kill herself.
You think she's a strong career woman? That is just her image. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret that she's always trying to hide.
A secret?
Her codependency. That's the key word.
Codependency? The word most unsuited to describing that woman.
Adrian Andrews' attempted suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impacts.
And?
And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Quite possibly because she had lost her will to live.
Lost her will? But why would she?
Her pillar of strength, her mentor Celeste Impacts, was gone forever. That's why.
Why would that?
Is this what they call following someone to the grave?
After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is a person who looks for someone she can trust unconditionally. And once she finds that someone, she blindly follows them. Without someone to guide her, she feels uneasy and cannot carry herself through life.
And that's her codependency.
When Celeste Impacts suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself.
Then that means her super confident attitude.
It's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together.
How terrible.
Appearances can be deceiving, right? It's such a cliché saying, but it's cliché because it's so often true.
To think that behind that unwavering brave front, she's been hiding this weakness and fear.
I know that look all too well. Go on, then. As far as I know, she's still at the Gatewater Hotel.
Oh, Miss Andrews is here. But it looks like she's talking with someone.
That's Franziska von Karma!
Miss von Karma?
What are you doing here?
Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so...
You've got some nerve following me around!
Following you?
That's you, Miss von Karma! You're the one doing the following!
Rules?
You're always following after that Mr. Detective with the little beard!
Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. I'll show you something interesting, little girl.
What is that?
An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective.
And with this, I know that fool's every move.
So, that noise we heard was this receiver. I feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now.
Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews.
Yes?
Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood?
All right.
What were those two talking about?
Miss Andrews. She seems a little dazed, doesn't she?
Why was Juan Corrida murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Engarde's life in danger by your actions?
Why do you ask questions for which I have no answer? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Corrida.
You were not that close?
That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person.
You were not good at being intimate with another person? Somehow I highly doubt that. According to this, you and Mr. Corrida had an intimate relationship, did you not?
A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish.
Well, it seems quite a few people bought into this story.
As to be expected, in a world filled with crooks and liars.
Note to self, stay on her good side.
In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that.
I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone?
Me? Need to get close to Mr. Corrida? As if there was ever such a need.
Didn't you get close to Mr. Corrida for the sake of Celeste Impacts? Your mentor.
Why do you know about Celeste?
Miss Impacts. She committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was Juan Corrida's manager. So I believe you got close to Mr. Corrida so you could find out more about her suicide.
You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a muckraker for a putrid third-rate tabloid. There was no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing.
I don't believe you were completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved, because Miss Impact's suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Corrida.
Juan?
And, Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. This is why you became intimate with Mr. Corrida.
I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor. However, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others.
I don't think that's who you really are.
What?
Miss Andrews, you went through it too, didn't you?
Went through what?
A suicide attempt. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help and you live by yourself.
Yes, I've been very independent for as long as I can remember.
However, that is all just a lie. A facade. You've always searched out for people whom you can depend on.
That's...
You were dependent on Miss Impacts, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had.
Stop! When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note.
You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Corrida of hiding Miss Impacts' note? You heard about it, and thought to recover it from him by getting close. Am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes.
What do you mean?
What topic did we start this conversation on again?
It was Why was the victim killed?
Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one most likely to want Mr. Corrida dead.
Me?
Miss Impax was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder.
Murder? It's true. I am a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small, and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. I've pushed against all that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth.
Miss Andrews.
This one thing. It's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret. Mine, and mine alone.
I'm sorry.
You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you?
Please, Miss Andrews. All I want to know is the truth.
After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note, and that someone was Juan Corrida. Celeste, without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me.
So you got close to Mr. Corrida to recover her suicide note, correct?
It looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it?
Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire.
And if they purposefully add fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so...
I understand.
Oh, I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide. I'd like for you to keep it a secret.
Miss Andrews.
If people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live.
I understand. I guess she's the always thinking type. She never says anything carelessly, it seems.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Nick, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back.
Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding?
Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag.
What is it? It looks like a seashell?
That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from.
Her not remembering something clearly? Sounds like it would be a rare occurrence.
Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. Engarde in your capable hands.
Well, I think we've gathered about all we can.
What about Mystic Maya? Is she all right?
Oh, Pearls. She looks so worn out by all this. She hasn't slept at all, and has been walking all over the place with me today.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right?
Oh, no. I'm okay. Really. I'm fine. I really am.
You don't look fine to me.
So, what now?
Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive.
You mean Miss Impax's suicide note?
That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever.
Ah! Mr. Nick! The transceiver!
Hello? This is the law office of Wright and Co.
Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone.
Maya! Where's Maya?
As promised, I have not come within a few feet of her this whole time. Which is why I suppose she's absolutely vanished.
What?
So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost. Wouldn't you agree?
What? Maya! Let me hear her!
Very well.
Ask my...
Maya? Is that you?
sis. Ask my sis!
Maya? Maya! Damn it! He cut me off!
Mystic Maya said, ask my sis, didn't she?
Sis? What does she mean by that?
Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one.
Sorry. Mia!
I have a message from Maya, so come. Ask me anything you want about her.
How is she?
She's safe. For now. That kidnapper is one to keep his word, it seems.
Glad to hear she's safe, but Mia, how did you know?
As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read a note she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could.
I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like this. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper! What's he like?
I don't know. Apparently Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drugged there. She didn't see the face of her attacker. Maya is locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her.
I'm starving. I could really go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. We have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not going to die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now. There's all sorts of things piled up here, but it's too dark to see. What's this? It feels like there are a lot of glass bottles here. These... they feel like barrels. I'll pass. Too bad I'm really hungry and not really thirsty. Huh? Someone dropped a card here. It kinda looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. Ah! That's it! The shell card. If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. Alright, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it! Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting.